psycho, weirdo, try-hard edgelord.
You get what? Get back.
They don't lead. They don't follow. They don't even play the game.
Lead, follower, get out of the way.
The Sigma male, the shadow wolf of the hierarchy, the outsider, the wanderer, the reluctant hero, or the scarred loner. You might admire him, you might envy him, but without him, the hierarchy isn't complete. This is the Sigma male explained. Shh. Before we dive in, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Otherwise, the Sigma will just drift off into the night, never to be seen again. What is the Sigma male?
And the Lakers win the game!
In Vox Day's sociosexual hierarchy, the Sigma is the man who stands outside the pecking order, not beneath it like the Omega, not at the top like the Alpha, but sideways. He doesn't compete for dominance, but he doesn't get cast out either. Solitude, self-reliance, and independence are the traits that Sigma chooses, or does he? Does he choose to be alone, or is he simply made for it? Where the Alpha thrives on the crowd's attention, the Sigma thrives in its absence. He walks alone, and alone he wins. Strangely enough, people often respect him for it. But here's the truth most people won't consider. Nobody becomes a Sigma without scars.
I should have had that abortion!
Almost every Sigma carries a wound, rejection, betrayal, loss, or alienation that pushed him out of the game. He's free, but his freedom often comes with a price. Do you know someone in your life who fits this mold? Real-world Sigma examples. Kobe Bryant, the Black Mamba. Kobe wasn't just an athlete. He was an obsession in human form. While other players partied, networked, and chased fame, Kobe was in the gym at 4 a.m., shooting 1,000 free throws in the dark. He didn't care about the spotlight in the way an alpha might.
Bask in the fear of other men.
He cared about mastery. That singular drive, that Sigma obsession, turned him into both a legend and an enigma. Loved by fans, feared by competitors, and respected by rivals, Kobe represented the Sigma's workflow. Not for status, not for approval, but for perfection. The hierarchy didn't create him. His discipline did. Aristotle, the philosopher's philosopher. Unlike Plato, unlike Alexander, Aristotle wasn't chasing the throne or the city. He stood apart, analyzing, dissecting, teaching. He could have been a political alpha, but he chose to be something else, the Sigma sage. Kings came to him for wisdom, and students became emperors under his guidance. Yet he himself remained detached from the power struggles of his time. He was a man of pure intellect, living on the edges of the hierarchy, influencing history from the sidelines. Aristotle showed that a Sigma doesn't need to hold the crown to shape the kingdom. Jim Carrey, comedy's wild card. At the height of his fame, Jim Carrey was untouchable, the highest paid comedian, the face of blockbuster after blockbuster. But then, almost overnight, he walked away from it all. He retreated, grew a beard, started painting, and began giving cryptic philosophical interviews about identity and meaning. He shifted from the Sigma clown, unpredictable, eccentric, standing apart from Hollywood's polished hierarchy, to the Sigma sage, rejecting the very fame that made him. In Carrey, we see the Sigma's paradox, a man who could dominate the spotlight, but who ultimately preferred to vanish into the shadows of his own mind. John Wayne, more myth than man. John Wayne's cowboy roles weren't just characters. They were a cultural archetype. The lone drifter who arrives in a town, doesn't fit in, doesn't want to fit in, but when chaos hits, he's the one with the grit to step up. And when the dust settles, he leaves, disappearing into the horizon, refusing the banquet or the mayor's handshake. That's Sigma energy in cinematic form, the rugged individual, the man who belongs everywhere and nowhere. Wayne wasn't just an actor. He was the embodiment of America's Sigma fantasy: freedom, danger, and solitude, wrapped into one mythic figure. Charles Lindbergh, the man who flew solo. In 1927, Lindbergh did the unthinkable, a non-stop solo flight across the Atlantic. Alone, in a small plane, battling fatigue, storms, and the endless ocean, he embodied the Sigma archetype, the individual against the impossible. He didn't achieve greatness by leading men or by serving them. He achieved it through sheer isolation and endurance. One man, one machine, one dream. The world hailed him a hero, but Lindbergh himself remained elusive, private, even controversial later in life. A reminder that Sigma legends are often forged not in crowds, but in solitude. Which of these men feels the most Sigma to you? The athlete, the philosopher, the cowboy, the clown, or the pilot? Fictional Sigmas. Shrek, the swamp dweller. All Shrek wanted was peace and solitude in his swamp. No glory, no throne, no followers. But fate pulled him into a story he never asked for, forcing him into the role of reluctant hero. He embodied Sigma detachment, grumpy, sarcastic, resistant to connection, yet ultimately proving his worth when it mattered most. Shrek didn't fit into the hierarchy of knights, kings, or villains. He carved his own path, rejecting society's rules while still shaping its outcome. He's the fairy tale Sigma, unwanted, underestimated, but essential. Geralt of Rivia, the Witcher. Geralt is the monster hunter who doesn't belong anywhere, feared by villagers, doubted by kings, yet indispensable to all of them. He wanders from contract to contract, sarcastic, blunt, and detached, living by his own code rather than society's laws. He doesn't seek power or community. He survives in the cracks of civilization, respected and feared in equal measure. Geralt is Sigma to the core, forever on the margins, never truly part of the world he protects, but bound to it nonetheless. Captain Jack Sparrow, the trickster Sigma. Jack is the pirate who belongs to no crew. Too clever to be loyal, too unpredictable to be trusted, yet too charming to be ignored. He drifts between sides, helping when it benefits him, betraying when it amuses him, surviving not through strength or status, but through wit, cunning, and sheer refusal to play by anyone's rules. He's not alpha leader, not beta follower, not gamma schemer. He's chaos incarnate with a grin, the drifter who outsmarts empires while pretending to stumble through life. If you had to pick one Sigma from fiction to spend a day with, who would you choose and why? Aragorn, the Ranger in exile. When we first meet Aragorn, he's not a king. He's Strider, the mysterious ranger lurking on the edges of taverns and forests, detached, watchful, living outside the structures of power. He could have claimed his throne earlier, but he didn't. He chose the Sigma path of self-imposed exile, waiting until destiny demanded otherwise. Aragorn shows the noble Sigma arc, a man who rejects society's crown until the world itself forces him to take it. His Sigma solitude eventually transforms into alpha leadership, but only by choice, not by birthright. Andy Dufresne, The Shawshank Redemption, the silent Sigma, a man carved out of patience, endurance, and quiet rebellion. Misunderstood, distant, almost ghost-like in his own life, Andy survives not by strength, but by unbreakable inner order. Isolated by circumstance, shaped by injustice, he turns solitude into a weapon. Behind the calm eyes is a mind tunneling through hell, one handful at a time. A loner who never sought power, yet changed an entire world simply by refusing to let it change him.
Sexy and I know it.
Which Sigma traits are the most annoying? The stoic wanderer like Aragorn, or the tragic loner like Snape? Drop it in the comments. Core traits of a Sigma. Independence. The Sigma builds his life around his own code, not society's. While an Alpha might draw energy from leading people, and a Beta from supporting them, the Sigma finds meaning in crafting a world of one. His independence isn't casual, it's total. Kobe Bryant's 4 a.m. workouts, Geralt's lonely roads, Aragorn's years in exile, all are expressions of men who didn't wait for permission, didn't ask for validation, and didn't care about being understood. To be Sigma is to stand apart, even when standing apart is costly. Mystery, aloof, quiet, unreadable. The Sigma neither reveals himself nor expects others to. He isn't performing silence for effect. He simply doesn't feel compelled to broadcast himself. Lindbergh crossing the Atlantic, Aragorn lurking in the shadows of a tavern. Each embodies that enigmatic distance. People guess, people project, but the Sigma rarely clarifies. His mystery is both shield and sword. It protects him from being trapped, and it gives him power, because no one quite knows where he stands. Self-reliance. The Sigma provides for himself, rarely leaning on others. Where the Bravo finds comfort in structure and the Delta in routine, the Sigma trusts only in his own hands. It's the cowboy cleaning his gun by firelight, the witcher sharpening his blades alone, the comedian who retreats from Hollywood to paint in solitude. Self-reliance isn't a rejection of others out of arrogance. It's a survival mechanism honed by experience. He knows others may come and go. His only constant is himself. Detachment. The Sigma can find value in connection, but he refuses dependence. Shrek ultimately loves Fiona, but he never loses himself in her world. Jim Carrey can connect with millions through laughter, but when it comes to fame, he steps back and detaches completely. The Sigma might mentor, might protect, might even love, but he always maintains a line between himself and the collective. He touches the world, but never fully merges with it. This detachment is why Sigmas often feel both indispensable and impossible to hold on to. Scarred freedom. A Sigma's independence often begins with trauma. This is the dark secret of the archetype. Unlike the Omega, who opts out because he was excluded, the Sigma opts out because he was let down one too many times. Geralt's mutant upbringing, Shrek's lonely swamp. Each Sigma's freedom is built on rejection, betrayal, or wounds that taught him not to depend on others. His freedom is scarred, and those scars remind him every day why he stays on the edge of the hierarchy. Nurture or nature? Do Sigmas choose their path, or are they pushed onto it by pain? Let me know in the comments. Do you recognize any of these traits in yourself, even just a little? The Sigma male and females. Here's where the Sigma mystique really plays out. Magnetism of mystery. Unlike the Omega, the Sigma's distance can make him fascinating. Scarred attraction. Many women see the Sigma as a broken man to fix. Some succeed in doing so. A lot of them just crushes in the process. Low availability. Sigmas aren't chasing women, which paradoxically makes some women lose their mind. Volatile relationships. His independence and wounds can make intimacy difficult, even destructive. Women often romanticize the Sigma, but living with one can be a storm. He doesn't need her, and that's both intoxicating and threatening. Do you think Sigma's detachment makes him more attractive to women, or harder for them to reach? Why the Sigma matters. The Sigma's strength is the strength of self, but it's not without cost. Behind almost every Sigma story, you'll find heartbreak, betrayal, or isolation. Trauma makes the shadow grow until the shadow is the only thing H-Tap can follow the Sigma. And that's what makes him dangerous and magnetic. Critique of the Sigma. Let's be honest, the Sigma archetype is romanticized online. Everyone wants to be Sigma because it sounds cool, but the reality is harsher. Many Sigmas are broken men who couldn't fit in. Their independence is a survival strategy, not a lifestyle choice. And yes, Sigmas are mostly attractive in one way or another. Think jacked Omega, who smells nice. And without healing, their detachment can become their downfall. Do you think being Sigma is strength or just a way of hiding weakness? Why people relate to Sigmas. Everyone has dreamed of walking away from the noise. Everyone has wanted to say, I don't need this, I'll do it my way. The Sigma embodies that dream, but also the nightmare that comes with it. People want the flame, but nobody wants the smoke. Because to become truly independent, most Sigmas had to become broken in the first place. Summary of the Sigma male. Independent, self-reliant, aloof, magnetic, mysterious, hard to pin down. Often shaped by trauma, betrayal, or rejection. Attractive to women, but volatile in love. A figure who stays apart, respected, but rarely understood. Final thoughts. The alpha wins. The beta supports, the delta grinds, the gamma schemes, the omega mutters in the shadows. The Sigma? He walks away, scarred, mysterious, untamed. And that's why everybody wants to be him, except for the Sigma himself. If you found this breakdown of the Sigma male eye-opening, hit like, share, and subscribe. Otherwise, the Sigma will vanish back into the shadows, and you'll never see him again.